Okay, let's just jump right in. Have you ever been bogged down by, the sheer frustration of manually typing in reference numbers for
Oh,
documents?
absolutely.
Think about the errors, the duplicates, the wasted time trying to track things down. It's a surprisingly common headache.
It really is. And that friction point, that manual data entry, it can really slow things down and introduce a lot of unnecessary risk into just like day-to-day operations.
Absolutely. And this brings us to a real world example with Dipali from Tayana Solutions.
Hmm.
As a software engineer, she saw firsthand how users working with Acumatica were manually entering document reference numbers on what's called the cache entry screen. And, well, it was causing a ton of problems.
Yeah, and what's interesting here is that while systems like Acumatica, they have built-in features, right? But sometimes those standard options, they just don't quite meet the very specific needs of a business's unique way of working?
Exactly. In this case, the users needed automated numbering for that document reference field, but the standard auto numbering in Acumatica just wasn't flexible enough for their particular requirements. So, what was the core of the issue?
At its heart, the problem was really the manual process itself. It wasn't just about the time it took. It was the high likelihood of human error creeping in, leading to inconsistent data and potential headaches down the line.
Right, makes sense. And Dipali and the team at Tayana Solutions, they came up with a really smart solution. Instead of trying to force fit the existing Acumatica numbering, they developed a custom way to handle it automatically.
Which brings us to the fascinating part. How they built this specific piece of logic to dynamically create those unique document reference numbers. You can think of it as a tailored add-on designed precisely for this task.
Okay, so how did they actually go about building this? What were the key steps they took within Acumatica?
Well, they started by creating a dedicated customization project right there in Acumatica. Then they access the area that manages cache entry transactions, what's technically called the CA trans entry graph.
Okay.
Then they built an extension, which is basically a way to add their own code specifically for this area. The crucial step was essentially telling Acumatica, hey, use our custom method instead of the standard one when retrieving records for that cache entry screen.
So they created a sort of like a detour in the system's normal process.
Precisely. Yeah, exactly. They implemented a special helper method they called getNumber. This little piece of code would look at all the existing reference numbers, grab the highest one, add one to it to ensure it was unique, of course, and then format it nicely as text for the new entry.
Huh, that sounds like a clever way to guarantee uniqueness. How do they get Acumatica to actually use this get number method?
They integrated it into the cache entry process using a specific Acumatica function. It's kind of a way of saying, hey, when a new record is created here, use our custom getNumber logic to automatically fill in the reference.
Yeah.
Then finally, they compiled and activated this custom project within Acumatica.
And the end result of all that technical work, what was the payoff?
Oh, the payoff was huge.
Yeah.
Once it was implemented and thoroughly tested, that document reference field started populating automatically with a unique number every single time a new record was created. That completely eliminated the manual data entry errors and brought some much-needed consistency.
So Dipali and Tayana Solutions really solved a very practical, everyday problem for their client.
Exactly. It really highlights how sometimes a tailored solution, one designed for a specific business need, can be far more effective than trying to adapt a more generic feature.
Right. So if you're listening to this and thinking, we're dealing with similar headaches, manual data entry, causing errors and slowing us down, what's the key message here for you?
Well, I think the important thing to understand is that you're not necessarily stuck with those inefficiencies.
Yeah.
There are often solutions available, even if the standard software features don't quite fit the bill.
Absolutely. And if you're looking to streamline your processes and maybe explore custom solutions designed for your unique business challenges, just like Tayana Solutions helped their client overcome those limitations with auto numbering, we highly recommend reaching out to them.
Hmm.
They have the expertise to analyze your specific needs and develop tailored solutions that can really make a difference in your daily operations. Don't let manual errors and inefficiencies hold you back. Consider reaching out to Tayana Solutions to see how they might be able to help you take that next step.